Hello everyone, it's Stepano here with a very rare YouTube video for you today. I've been playing this League Mercenaries for quite a while, and I've been playing KB from the start to the end, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about my build because I like it so much, and maybe this video might help some of you guys, decide to transition into this build. Coming into this league, there was drama revolving around Deadeye. People didn't think it was going to be strong enough, wasn't going to be good for tornado shot or alley hit of the spectrum, and that you should try something else. And I let that all fly over my head, and I went with my friends to get level 100 as fast as possible. In doing this, I played Kinetic Blast, and I did 5-ways, and when I did 5-ways, at the end of it, I asked the guild if I could keep the gear, and I just kept playing KB. And then within the week, you had Sakaiba make the mirror wand. People were dropping rocks and mirrors, doing the breach strat. Everything was good. My build was popular, and I didn't expect that. I didn't expect Deadeye to be popular. I didn't expect people to play KV at the time. They all were playing it. So in the bottom, I'm going to leave this, but this is my day 6 build. I'm using a Headhunter. Please ignore the Wine of the Prophet. The Wine of the Prophet was 3 divs back then. Now it's way more. So you don't use this, and you use a Dying Sun for 2 projectiles. I'm using an Impulsa, which says shocked enemies explode. And then I have shock proliferation on my Esh's mirror. This is a very cheap POB start compared to what I'm rocking now. And one of the very important things that I want to capitalize is when you kill enemies and they're shocked, you get 1 to 10 lightning damage. It does not say attacks or spells. That is global. That stacks on your heralds. That stacks on your chest explode. And this is a very cheap way to get a nice full clear on breaches early on. So I'm going to link this POB. There are some expensive items in it, but there are also some mistakes. Later on, I found out that Oath of Springs, it sets your shock to 2%, and this is a proliferation. So to cut some cost out of the build, you can easily take these jewels out. They're not actually good when you're using this shield. They're very bad. If you're doing a one-shot kill the whole screen strategy, something that takes 50 hits to ramp up is not good, and all you need to do is shock a mob like around like a white mob by 20%. It's going to proliferate. So keep that in mind. The Oath of Springs, the flask, it was wrong. It shows you that anyone can make mistakes, including myself. Furthermore, the current build I'm wearing right now is not this one. It is Mr. Steal Your Orbot. All you need to do to find my build is just go PoE Ninja, build, and I'm 4th from the top right here. Mr. Steal Your Orbot. So this is my current build at the moment. And we're going to open it up in Path of Building by clicking this arrow right here on the right and open link. Some key components about the build that I like to kind of just stress out, and they're pretty important about the build in my opinion, is I have 3 clusters. They each give me a block and attack damage on the right and explode on the left. So if you do 3 times 15% chance to explode, I have 45% chance to explode on my tree. And if you do 3 times 4, I have 12% less damage taken or block, spell, and attack, because pretty much almost everything except degens are either a spell or an attack. So I'm going to block 12% of those if I have 3 of these in the thing in the build. So here. Furthermore, I put in a runecraft for aura effect, and because I only run level 1 vitality in Wrath, it's not that big of a deal, and a 20% recover your life to full if you reach low life. So I'm constantly hitting, which gives me life gain on hit for my Watcher's Eye, which is a really big part of the build. But if I do get to low life, there's a 20% chance I will get all my life back. And if that doesn't work, I also have life on hit, like I said, and life on kill for my flask. So just some little things that definitely help me get tankier. So we have 12 block here between the large clusters. Then I got another 6 right here. So I have 18 block, spell, and attack between the large clusters and the replica reckless defense. But this also says I have more chance to be frozen, shocked, and ignited. And because of that, you have 20% avoid ailments on this life wheel. 20% avoid ailments on the life wheel, and you also have, I don't know what I just did, but you have avoid ailments on your boots. That's another 55. And you have the mastery right here for 20%. So you have 20 plus 20, that's 40. And on the boots you have 60, so 100. Sorry, I said 55, but it's 60. So a total of 100 avoid ailments, so you're ailment immune, so the downside of this jewel's gone. We have 18 spell block, 18 attack block. Now we have an aura called Tempest Shield. Tempest Shield gives me 26 more chance to block. My shield gives me another 14% chance to block. If it's divine, it's 15. And the shield itself gives me 23 block. And it gives me, if I block, I get 5% of my life back. And I spec into here, which gives me spell block based on my attack block. It also gives me attack block going here and attack block going here. With all these points that I just explained, and on my chest, there's some spell block. If you look at the bottom of the POB, I have a 75 block chance and a 75 spell block chance. I'm 8 over on the spell block, but that's okay. So I'm overclocked on spell block, but I also have regular block. And if damage gets through my spell block, I have 100% suppression. And it looks like I'm overcapped on spell suppression, so I don't know how that happened, but I need to change that. But anyways, if a spell gets through my 75% spell block, I have spell suppression. If an attack gets through my block, I have mitigation from my fortify. Earlier stream, we changed our build to this. We dropped the chain because we have awakened fork, and we got less damage taken. So I have less damage taken from this. On my animate guardian, or my this guy, I have 25% fizz taken as elemental. Fortify from the animate guardian. All that stuff, if I do get hit with a physical hit, the windward is all going to give me tankiness. So basically, I have 75% chance to not take any damage. If I take damage, my spell suppression comes into play. I have evasion. I have a 55% chance, or 47% chance to evade if the block doesn't go through. And then only after all that, I can get hit. And I have like life comes back. I have life on block on my shield. I have less damage taken from the windward. So as you can see, this build ends up becoming really tanky. And just to give you like a quick display of the build, let's just do like a normal breach map real quick. I'm gonna do it real quick because I don't want to waste too much time because I have to go. But we're just gonna take this breach map and we're gonna do the normal setup, which is 3 risk and 2 wisp, I believe. If you guys think there's a better setup than this, please comment below. I would love to hear what you guys think. Like every build this league, I do highly recommend you consider using a balance of terror, and this allows me to push Q and stop myself from slowing down. At the moment, I'm set up for abyss, so I'm going to take that out. Taking out the abyss points lets me, you know, for example, get projectile speed damage. Maybe a life point here. And maybe a life point here or something like that, right? So now I have all my damage back. I can put Blood Rage back in. If I don't want the Blood Rage and I want to like Enduring Cry to get my life back, I can put Enduring Cry in. But for now, that's where we're at. I'm going to put in Blood Rage. So we're going to go to our Breach strat. We're going to open up the map with Breach. We have 3 Risk Scarabs, 2 Wisp Scarabs, and this is just a map, so actually I'm not going to put a map in because we're never going to drop anything. We want a map with at least some currency on the top, so this is 70 currency on the top. Here we go. There's no terrible mods on this, but We also have 3 wrists that can easily add terrible mods on it. And takes you, if you ever want, you can come to the Twitch and you can see that I do pretty much every map mod. Some of them definitely doesn't feel good. Some of them feel better. A little bit of a talk on, so right now it looks like we're not doing damage. So we always check if we have the monsters do not take damage for 3 seconds. It does not look like that. If we did, we put on the warp time beast to slow down or to speed up debuffs, and that significantly feels better.
I put you out of your misery.
So sadly, over the last 2 days, I do believe at least my game does not perform the way I wanted to do it, but it is what it is, and we got to deal with it. We definitely got a tanky mod, and this also could be a product of not having the chain in. I'm not sure, but now that we got our head on our buffs, everything is seeming to just die right away. We have a Doriani's Merc that sets the res to -200. We have an Animate Guardian that gives us Fortify, Culling Strike, more rarity, immune to crits,
I'm of House Kyaxon.
cool stuff like that, if he's in our range.
Exalted orb. An exhilarating sensation of victory. An exhilarating sensation of victory. For a brief moment. For a brief moment.
Choose as so
And one thing I would like to really
defeat Warren's
stress on this build is this is a head on our build. It's not a go into kill boss build, go do this. This is just to clear maps very efficiently, the best you can. Just keep that in mind. If you want a build that can do more than that, this might not be the build for you. This is really good in maps, but when you come to tier 17 map bosses and higher, this is kind of where this build personally kind of plateaus, and it doesn't have the damage past that. I'm sure you could like figure out stuff to do, but at that point it might be better to invest in a boss killing build than, you know, try to fix a head on our build. In hideout I have like 37% crit, so I need power charges, head on our buffs, all this stuff to actually get my crit to 100%, and that is what I personally call like a head on our build. So I only can get power charges on kill, so if I'm on a 1v1 boss, I'm never going to have those power charges, which, you know, significantly cuts my damage down quite a bit. We're going to use some pedals here. Nothing's dropping on the disc on the showcase, but again, I didn't really try to set up a map that drops stuff. I was just trying to show you a difficult map. At first the map was kind of hard, but once we killed a few things, buffs got going, boom, the map looks like it's nothing. So you can also just try to do the boss, see it how it is. But even doing little tier 60 map bosses sometimes can take a little bit of time, but they're pretty easy no matter what, especially when you have Soul Eater and 44 head on our buffs. But just for the video's sake, maybe we go like this. Took all of our head on our buffs off for you guys. And after this boss is dead, we will shut off the video, but feel free to join the Twitch anytime if you have any questions. And thank you so much for watching the video. Have a great day.